All right, howdy friends, Tulio behind the wheel. I'm taking you into a subdivision of Colorado Springs that is kind of not too far away from our downtown area. It's a little north of there, a little east of there, maybe about 7 minutes from there. And this is a really neat area. It's borders the Colorado Springs Country Club, and as you can see, there's some little mountains up ahead of us. That's part of Palmer Park, which is a big park that's in the middle of town that's very mountainous and has trails, hiking and biking. And there's an actual park there too with like playgrounds and stuff like that. Lots of pavilions people can rent, but it's one of those places where you can just kind of go hiking in the middle of town and feel like you went in the mountains. Now I'm going to take you into a pretty cool subdivision. This subdivision is Highlands Acres, and it was built in the 1950s and into the 1960s. And it's really cool because it's just got a lot of character. And there's homes of different floor plans, but you will see more ranch style homes. And what's neat also is you get quite a bit of somewhat larger lots. A traditional sized lot here in Colorado Springs is about 6,000 to 7,000 square feet. And I would have to say that, for the time these homes were built, they had to be for the more affluent, in all honesty, because these are like 2,200 to 3,600 square foot houses on 1/4 acre to 3/4 acre lots, depending on where they sit. And many of them border the golf course. So it's a neat area. It was a neat area then, and it still is a neat area. As you can see, when they built these homes, they used a lot of brick. And in all honesty, you don't see that much anymore here in Colorado Springs. It's much more of the wood siding, the hardy board type siding is the common exterior nowadays. Some homes have switched and started to go towards stucco, but brick is rare. And in this neighborhood, it's predominantly brick. And as you can see, predominantly ranchers. Now, every now and then you'll see some bi-levels, tri-levels, stuff like that. But these are kind of sprawling homes. And because we're here in Colorado Springs, there's also basements with these homes. And not only are they long houses, they also have like a whole second level that's just as big as what you see above grade. I'm just going to take you up and down several streets in this subdivision so you get a good feel of what it's like. You can see up ahead the mountainside where some of the houses back up to that mountain. And when you live here, we don't really call it a mountain, but it's like one, just because we have a lot bigger mountains than that. I actually have spent quite a bit of time in this neighborhood because my kids all have played basketball over the years. And there's a little school in this neighborhood that many people don't even know exists. It's coming up. I'm going to toggle the camera facing out over here to the left so that you see this school. It's what's called Colorado Springs Charter Academy. And it's like a K-8 school. It's a really good school. Built quite some time ago. And their mascot is the lynx. And in front of that school one day, the newspaper got a picture of an actual lynx sitting right by the front door of the school, looking out. It was the coolest thing. And back over to the other direction. But I have walked this neighborhood over and over again while my kids were in basketball practice. I would listen to my audiobooks, listen to music. I'd walk over to Palmer Park and do hikes in Palmer Park while my kids were in basketball. We always had 2-hour basketball practices. So I've put in probably a couple hundred hours in this neighborhood. And it's one of those types of neighborhoods where people stick around. And people would always wave to you. Now, one thing it's very obvious here is that there's lots of big trees. And with older neighborhoods, you will see more mature trees. I've got a client couple from Florida that recently moved here, and they're in a short-term rental for about a month while they're house hunting with us. We found them a house in this area, and they love it. It's got a lot of character. There are big trees, and with big trees and older homes, I always recommend, not just for older homes, but for pretty much any home, but definitely older homes with big trees. We recommend to have the sewer line scoped. So our home inspector does that as kind of an add-on to his home inspection offerings. Some inspectors don't have that, and you have to hire a separate company then, like a Roto-Rooter company or someone like that with a camera, and they will actually either access it through a clean out in the front yard, which is like a PVC pipe sticking out if a house has one, or they have to pull a toilet and run the camera line through and all the way out to the sewer main in the street. We do that to make sure that the sewer line is intact, that it's not separated or doesn't have a ton of roots coming through it, or that it's not like collapsing or smashed. And that can happen from the weight of driveways. It can happen from trees, tree root systems, stuff like that. And the materials have changed over the years that they make sewer lines with. Now it's the PVC, pretty strong stuff. There's been times where they're made of metal. They can be made of clay tile, which doesn't sound all that strong, but apparently it was really good during the era. But if a sewer line's not good, it has to get either repaired or replaced, and that is a big undertaking, and insurance doesn't often cover it. So it's very wise to spend the extra $150 to have your sewer line scoped, to make sure that you don't have to spend $7,000 to $15,000 on a new sewer line. And it's not just the sewer line. They have to dig up your front yard, and you have a mound of dirt as tall or taller than your house. And they put all the dirt back, and you have to re-landscape often, because the companies that do the sewer line repairs are not landscapers. They just fix sewer lines and replace sewer lines. So with particularly with older homes and older homes with a lot of trees in the neighborhoods, definitely recommend having a sewer line scope. But you can see as I go through different streets, we pass some 2-story homes, some bi-levels, tri-levels, but mostly ranchers. And at the time that I'm filming this, it's fall. There's still some leaves on some trees. There are a lot of big pine trees here. We have some maples. You'll see a lot of aspens in Colorado. Most of them have lost their leaves right now. But it's fairly warm right now, and some people are even still running their sprinkler systems. That is Highlands Acres in Colorado Springs. We would call it like the old Northeast, because the city has grown further north and further east. But a very desirable place to live. Most of the homes in here will have 3 to 5 bedrooms. Most will have basements. Most will be on about a 1/4 acre size lot. And, you know, you have to think back to the late 50s and 60s as far as what the insides would be like. Many people have updated them. So, but a super cool neighborhood, not far from downtown Colorado Springs, really close to our big park, mountainous park called Palmer Park, and real easy access to both I-25, our highway that goes north-south, and easy access to Academy Blvd, which is a main artery here in town as well. You know, if one is open to a little bit of an older style of home that awards you a lot of neat attributes, like larger lots closer to downtown, kind of cool architecture, I would say, brick on the exterior type stuff, then Highland Acres might be for you. Hey, if you like these videos, make sure to follow, like, or subscribe, and I'll keep bringing you more.